is Sabrina Harris, and I am honored to be before you today. I salute the principal, faculty, staff, and especially the professionals involved in orchestrating the Westward Elementary School 2020 career day. It is an honor for me to be back. I was able to be amongst you virtually also last year, and as if you would have it, I have been invited back again. So thank you for what those who welcome me back, especially Josette. Thank you for what you see and how you honor me in this week. I want to get right into it because I'm very excited to speak about what I do. And by profession, I am a licensed mental health counselor who specializes in victimization. I must say that being in the field of public service, particularly mentally challenged individuals that I'm attending to on a daily basis, crisis-filled situations, and all of those things, it requires much out of me as an individual, a person, and a professional. So I must say that this is a calling. It's divine intervention. I actually was very intently focused on business and leadership, which I've been able to marry all of this together very well. However, I believe that God chose me to walk this path, and I'm very grateful. The reason I say that is I've always been very intuitive. I could always sense things. I kind of sometimes knew that things were going to happen, or I knew the answer to things, and I didn't know how I knew them. It was always wired. I was always very into reading, into books, into astrology for a period of time. A lot of different things that correlate well with mental health impacts, especially because it's theories. Theory simply means that there's an idea or consideration that has had enough working and backing that it's become sound by standard, but it's still something that can be questioned and debated to some. So that kind of sums up theory very well, and it's a lot of it in the counseling psychology realm. So about me personally, I am a faith-based believer. I love God. I am a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a niece. I am just so many different things inside of the family unit. I also have a beautiful, beautiful exotic bully, which is a beautiful dog. It's 4 months old, and his name is Blue. So I have a very strong support network. I have some amazing people around me. And I just always knew that I would be doing something with people. I knew that as early as like 8 or 9. But I swung a pendulum. I did modeling for a period of time. I was on a stint to attend the Fort Lauderdale Art Institute, wanted to be a fashion designer, which I've had the opportunity to do some runway shows and things of that nature. But always a creator, always a people, always just engaged and engrossed in why do we think like we do, and why do we do the things that we do, and why do we say the things that we say. That's always been. So a lot of people ask me what are some traits of therapists or clinicians or mental health practitioners. And I would say we're great listeners. We show up and we know how to be present without dominating a situation. We know how to kind of scale it back and let the client or the person who's seeking services or needs services just be in their moment. We show up with empathy. It's not like, oh, I'm so sorry. Only that pity part. We show up and we're like, this happened to you. We accept it. I validate your experience. Now, what are we going to do? What's the plan? How are we going to get past this, and how are we going to move forward in a healthy way? We also are very compassionate. We just love the idea of being in the presence of another person. Our love language is usually like hugs and gifts of kindness, positive regard. We're very respectful. We're moral-based, value-driven, ethically wired. We're just really good, upstanding. Because one of the things that is essential inside of being a mental health professional is being able to connect with people and gain their trust and make them feel comfortable and make them so safe in their mindset and thought processes that they have not one problem being with you or allowing you to be safe. We are indeed connected. That's what we do. And we take it. So what does it take to be a licensed mental health counselor in particular? And I say that because there are a lot of things that you can do inside of the counseling psychology realm, even out of it therapeutically. Therapy swings a huge pendulum, but what I'm talking about today specifically is being a licensed mental health. So first of all, education is essential. Educational is key. And the curve for education as it relates to this industry and field is very sharp, very much so. 4 years of undergraduate study. You have to be able to command it because that's the only way you're going to be able to advance on to the master's level, university, college level, to be able to get your second degree. So your first degree is 4 years, 2 years of study for your associates and 2 additional years of study for your bachelor's. What I did for my undergraduate studies, I actually emphasized business. I always knew I wanted to be a leader, a manager, supervisor, those things. Always been that type of person, that type of profession. So I chose that as my undergraduate study, but I had some courses that lent themselves to the counseling psychology realm. Many people choose counseling psychology in that facet for their undergraduate studies, and that's perfect. I was blessed to be able to marry all of my educational pursuits together very well. So I encourage you to just look at your very carefully and to also seek guidance from others. Don't make a big career-oriented decision on a whim. Talk to people who have done this. Be in the presence of people who can help you get there and clear your maps. But I advanced on, so I did my undergraduate studies. I did famously well. I graduated with honors, and I went on to Palm Atlantic University to pursue my master's level. So I whizzed through counseling psychology. To be honest with you, I did very well. And I ended up obtaining a tri-certification in mental health, marriage and family therapy, and addictions and recovery. So I'm certified in all of those disciplines with expertise gained by working in the field. I also was so intrigued with leadership. I have seen a lot as far as leadership is concerned. Some of it I was impressed with, some of it I was not. So I wanted to go back and obtain a degree that gave me a solidified point of view, a very clear reference of what leadership should look like and how it should be executed. And I must say that's one of the most greatest decisions, rich decision, wise decision I've ever made. Because now I have the business aspect, I have the counseling psychology aspect, I have the leadership aspect. And what you know, I'm in the final phases of finalizing my doctoral study. So in the very near future, you will be able to reference me as Dr. Sabrina. Very, very exciting. And yes, I kept to the counseling psychology realm, but I've also positioned myself to be a professor if I so choose and a supervisor to provide supervision. So it's kind of taking what I already have and taking it up. So yes, there's a generous amount of study involved. However, if you're well suited and well versed for this particular field, you're going to do very good. Because it's exciting, it's fun, it's like challenging, but it like teaches you and you're like, I want to know this and I learned that and how do I apply this? It's just so rewarding. So before you know it, the time is gone. So 2 years whiz by. AA. 2 more years whiz by. You have BA or whatever you choose, BS. And then you're on to the masters. Not necessarily that you have to pursue and become dual masters like me. If you desire to, fine. That's certainly not a necessity. It's something I desire to do personally. I'm actually thinking. So with the study, there is a need in this particular field for experiential expertise. So to be hands-on and be able to now utilize all of the information and everything that you need to now be able to diagnose it, full assessment completed, use tools that are introduced to you, to be able to develop a treatment plan, to write progress notes, to be able to testify in court. That's one of the reasons I'm not here. You'll actually be watching this video, but I'll be in court testifying for one of my clients. So there are so many different opportunities. And there's a lot of crossover. There are a lot of people who are in the mental health realm. People cross over with social work, case management, this Child Net, Children's Home Society, all of these agencies that work with dependency in those type of situations. So to be honest, the options are really endless. But as a part of the internship, which I made mention of, not only is it an amazing opportunity for you to gain information and gain experience, but it also is the caveat for you being able to sit for the exam to become licensed. Because you have to have 2 years of supervision. And a lot of times that 2 years is acquired inside of an internship where you give your time, devote yourself, but you're not necessarily paid for it at that. And I actually did like 4 internships. I was blessed to be a part of a domestic violence and abuse shelter. I was in a facility that catered to adults with disabilities. I did a stint at Gratitude House where the women were in recovery for substance abuse and addiction, and they had children along the way. And there were several other different amazing things that I did. So I was able to get a lot of insight, a lot of hands-on training, a lot of exposure through it. So please don't be weary, don't be afraid, don't be opposed to devoting your time, because the rewards are 10 times greater than whatever you could possibly do. After my supervision hours were obtained, internships were successfully completed. Study. Yes, once you are past the elementary school, middle school, high school, just all the way through, study is going to be essential. And I did that. And I was able to successfully pass the exam to become a licensed mental health. I'm currently practicing in Florida, but I'm looking to expand my footprint very soon into Georgia, particularly Atlanta, Georgia. I have just a warm feeling about Atlanta. Love the pulse, love the things that happen. And I know that mental health, especially independent contractors, are greatly needed. I've done my homework. So I'm looking forward to doing that soon once I'm done with school and I walk across that stage. So I just want to encourage you, if you are that intuitive person, if you're excited about people, if you want to try to understand people, you're always asking questions. If you pour yourself into books, you're into theory, you're just that kind of person that loves to see how you can make things better or how you can be a part of evoking positive change, inspiring people to do better, and encouraging them along the way, I want to strongly recommend that you consider this. And one thing that you can do with that would be very helpful is a career assessment. I actually took several of those. I believe one at least before I graduated from high school. And wouldn't you know, it put me right in the realm of social service and mental health, psychology. I was wired for sound for it, also a career field. Done stints in modeling, on the runway, Art Institute for a period of time. So I just had all of those dynamics going on, which led to psychology and being as well. It matched me. I love what I do. I wake up daily and I'm afforded opportunity to help people positively change their life. I can't change them, but I'm able to contribute to that process, their processes in a number of ways. And I'm determined. So whatever you choose to do and be, my encouragement is simply to be the best, to study, to show thyself approved, to practice, to not be afraid to give of yourself internship or and to know that there's always room to grow and learn. I build myself as a lifetime friend because as much as I know, I never know. And the amazing part of it is, we'll leave this earth eventually, not knowing even a smidget of what there is to know. So always seek to know, seek to understand, seek to apply it to your life, and seek to position yourself in this life where you're being purposeful, where you're living out your meaning and your truth, and you're blessing others. Licensed mental health counselor. That's right. A specialized in victimization and I'm able to have influence that can be a valuable resource, an impactful resource, a life-changing resource to the people around me. I love you. And I hope this is something that you can see. If it resonates, if it touched something, if it's everything you want. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. Thank you again, Josette Archibald and your entire team and whoever is a part of this on an annual basis. Thank you for even allowing questions to share. I'm thankful for the income that I've been able to command, the life that I'm able to live because of what I do. But more importantly, I'm grateful for the opportunity to pour into the lives, into the vessel of other people as much as they can for that. Thank you.